Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to watch about the how to meet British guys in America. There are somewhere around 700,000 Brits living in the US. So your odds of finding a few good British guys out there are pretty good, if you know where to look. To help you out, this article lists several dating, meetup platforms that are popular with British users, as well as some real-world spots where you might run into British guys. You will learn how to have an amazing first date with a British guy. Method 1. Dating apps and sites. First is Date British Guys. It's really all in the name here. This is a site for non-British people who want to date British guys. Setting up a profile is a snap, and it's easy to browse for potential matches. You can even listen to voice snippets to get samples of different guys' accents. British guys get a free membership so long as they have official documentation that proves their Britishness. For everyone else, a free membership provides limited functionality compared to the paid options. While originally devised as a way to connect American women with British men, the site now has a broad base of users from around the world who are looking to snag a British guy. Step 2. I love your accent. Like Date British Guys, I Love Your Accent has expanded internationally beyond its original design to connect Americans and Brits. It also boasts similarly easy sign-up and search processes. I Love Your Accent, though, has a much smaller subscriber base, around 55,000 as of 2019. Depending on your perspective, this might limit your options or make the process less intimidating. The site's smaller size presumably makes it easier for it to spot and remove fake or suspicious profiles. The site's founder still plays an active role and sometimes gets directly involved in matchmaking. Like Date British Guys and most other dating platforms, there's a free membership option, but it's very limited compared to the paid options. Step 3. Match. Match has been around since 1993. And over the years it has earned a reputation for robust profile vetting and easy-to-use features. This combination of name recognition and positive reputation makes it one of the most popular sites for British users both in the UK and internationally. Match lets you post a detailed profile and more than 20 profile pictures and has detailed search tools that can help you target British guys. Match has nearly 40 million registered users and 8 million active daily users worldwide. So this one might be a good choice if you're looking to cast a wide net in search of your perfect British guy. Step 4. Tinder. No. Tinder's swipe left or right setup probably isn't the best choice if you're looking for a long-term connection with a British guy. But if a quick fling is your aim, Tinder is a very popular dating app among Brits in the UK and beyond. With its location-based search parameters, Tinder is most useful if you live within 100 miles (160 kilometers) of an American city with a sizable British population. Like many dating sites, Tinder has a limited free option and tiers of paid options. Step 5. Bumble. Guys tend to make the first move on most dating sites, but Bumble is set up so that female users have to initiate contact with any male matches. So, if you like the idea of finding a British guy who prefers being the pursued rather than the pursuer, this is definitely a good option. To be clear, Bumble isn't limited to females seeking males, but is designed to counter the typical men pursuing women dynamic of other dating platforms. Bumble's free membership offers more search and communication options than many of its competitors. But you can further ramp up your options with a paid membership. Finally, Clover. Some platforms want to help you make friends. Some want to help you hook up. Some want to help you find a long-term match. And still others like Clover try to combine these elements. It feels like a mix of Tinder, Match, and Facebook, which might suit you well if you're not sure what type of relationship you're aiming for. Clover has well-developed mixes, community forums, where you can make new connections, and an advanced video chat feature as well. Clover is a popular platform among British users. And you can use the mixes element to help connect specifically with Brits. Method 2. Meeting British guys in person. First is find British guys in your extended friend groups. Brits, probably more than Americans, date from their friend groups. Scoring a date from a complete stranger, at least in person, is less common in the UK than the US. So you may have better success targeting a British guy that happens to be a friend of a friend. Get to know the guy a little better so he gets more comfortable with the idea of asking you out. Or having you ask him out. Step 2. Check out British-style pubs in your area. No, not every British guy hangs out at their local pub. But lots of them do. The local pub is the most popular site for a first date in the UK as well. So any guys you meet may already be in a dating frame of mind. While a superficially British-themed pub might do the trick. You're better off looking for an American bar that has organically attracted a British clientele and taken on a pub-like feel. Finally, go to British expat population centres. Not surprisingly, the largest U.S. cities have the largest number of British residents. Around 20% of the total in the U.S. live in or around New York City. Other cities with large British expat populations include Los Angeles, Washington, Miami, San Francisco, Chicago, and Houston. Generally speaking, if you live near any major universities, tech hubs, or financial hubs, there's probably a decent-sized British population near you. If you really want to play the percentages. Portsmouth, Virginia was the champion as of the 2010 census. Nearly 5% of its population was born in the UK. Method 3. Tips for dating a British guy. First is British guys tend to be more reserved and polite than American guys. This is a generalization that doesn't hold true in every case, of course. That said, don't be surprised if a British guy isn't as forward in pursuing you as you're used to. Instead of assuming that they're not interested, seize the opportunity to be the pursuer yourself. The difference is less noticeable than it may have been a generation or two ago. But British guys still tend, on average, to prioritize proper etiquette and manners when first getting to know someone. This is certainly an appealing quality. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll end up being any more thoughtful or caring than an American guy in the long run. Step 2. Don't be surprised if your first date is a night at the pub. First dates in the UK tend to be more informal affairs, with less emphasis on making a big impression with a fancy dinner or tickets to a show. Instead of assuming your date doesn't care enough to try to impress you, take the opportunity to get to know him a little better in an environment he finds comfortable. When your night at the pub comes to a close, keep in mind that splitting the bill is more common on a first date in the UK than in the US. Finally, show off your manners on the first date, compared to their more quiet and reserved tendency. At least when first getting to know you. British guys sometimes find Americans to be loud and overly forthcoming on a first date. Don't try to hide who you are, but do consider aiming for a more laid-back vibe so he doesn't feel overwhelmed by your presence. Keep in mind that your British guy might loosen up a bit after a few drinks with you at the pub. We hope it is useful to you. Please subscribe to our channel.